In today's video, I'm going to talk about the kind of internships that you can find on Internshala. If these internships are a scam, share the perspective of people who have actually gotten an internship on this platform and how their experience was like, as well as share the perspective of people who have tried to hire interns from this platform. So let's begin. Is Internshala a scam? In short, no. This video was triggered by a post that I did a few days back on Instagram talking about how I did many internships from the platform. A lot of people have commented saying that they've been unsuccessful in trying to find an internship on Internshala and that it does not work. In fact, that I've done a bunch of internships like 4 or 5 years back and now have hired people myself to help me with my content creation. So first, let's talk about the kind of internships there are on the platform. For the purpose of this video, I'm exclusively going to be talking about programming internships, but I have hired a video editor and a content writer from Internshala. So I believe that non-tech internships work as well. Okay, so if you go to internshala.com and look at the kind of internships being posted here, though most of the companies listed there are usually very small companies, oftentimes it's individuals who are working full-time and want to build a business or a product of their own but do not have the time to spend and build the product themselves, so they hire a college student or an intern to do some of that work. I did not expect it, but I'm surprisingly seeing one internship by EY, which proves that even good companies hire from the platform. Back in my university days, around 2017 to 2019, I did a lot of these internships. All of them were remote and all of them were paid except one, but I'm going to be talking about that one a little bit later on. So this is my profile on Internshala, and as you can see, I've been hired for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 internships total. Though I did not join all of them, but I was hired for all of them, and 7 of these were paid. The last internship that I did back in 2019 was actually a UK-based startup, and the founder of that startup was exclusively hiring students from India because of the lower pay scale. When I talked about this on my Instagram stories, I received a lot of messages from people who have themselves did internships from Internshala and are very thankful because these internships set the foundation for them to be able to find bigger and better internships later on in their careers. So usually the type of internships on Internshala are not very demanding and are sort of part-time only. I only did internships from Internshala while I was still attending classes, so I would go to classes, come back home and then finish the work for these internships. There were times where I was actually doing 2 internships at the same time, maybe because I did not have classes going on or I did not have exams going on at the time, and they were fairly easy for me to handle. So these are not your FANG internships, or these are not your big startup internships like interning at, let's say, Swiggy or Zomato. But if you're a complete beginner who just has a few projects in your resume, then this is like the perfect starting point, especially because of the fact that usually you'd work with these engineers who are already working full-time roles, and you'll be able to build a network with these working professionals. What that ended up doing for me was I got referrals to companies like Microsoft. If you want to do some extra work on the side while you're attending classes, but you don't have the bandwidth to work on a proper full-time internship and want to earn some money on the side, then for sure, go ahead and work at Internshala internships. The range of the internships that I got back then were between 10 to 30,000 rupees a month. So there's this one person who commented and said that they know that Internshala does not work because it did not work for any of their friends as well. But if you think about it, if there's one job posting and thousands of people are applying to it, obviously most of the people are not going to get in. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work or the platform does not work. It's just the nature of how job posting or internship postings work. Most of the people are going to be rejected. But what you need to do instead of blaming the platform is identify why you are being rejected. To be honest, the bar on Internshala is very low because the quality of applications are terrible. To answer the question why most people are rejected on Internshala, let's take a look at the perspective of people who are hiring interns from the platform. So about a year back, I wanted to hire a student to build a website for my friend's brother, and I was looking for a person who was good with React and had some experience with Gatsby. When I posted the internship, most of the people did not have any React experience at all, yet they applied for the position. The other people who did not have experience in Gatsby, when asked if they had experience with Gatsby or not, instead of creating a quick project or instead of looking into what Gatsby was and giving me a demo project, all of them just simply said no and did not take any initiative at all to showcase if they were able to build something with it or not. I asked two of my friends who have also tried to hire people from Internshala and asked them what kind of problems they face while hiring from the platform. So one common issue was that a lot of the students there either have no projects at all or are sending in copy-paste projects or stolen projects from the internet. They think that employers are stupid, but you are absolutely wrong if you think you can send in a stolen project from the internet. One of my friends who was hiring for a UI UX position said that there was one common project, a UI UX project in the portfolios of many people, the same project. How is that even possible? Which means that students are not even putting in enough efforts and then complaining when they're not getting the internships. Another common problem that they face, and I've also faced, is that most of the students there are not at all professional. Most of them are not even willing to complete the assignment. Most of them don't even know how to talk properly to employers. So what to do if you are being rejected from internships? First of all, do not apply for internships that you are not qualified for. If you are applying for a React internship and you do not even know React, you're basically expecting somebody to pay you money to not work. What you should do is to learn, upskill, build good projects instead of stealing them from the internet or copying them from tutorials. Build original and good products. Learn how to write professionally, how to reach out to people, and apply for positions that you are qualified for. Now, with that being said, is it possible that some of the internships on Internshala are scam? Yes. The very first internship that I did was in graphic design because I just entered my university and I did not know coding at all, but I knew a little bit of graphic designing and I wanted to make some money on the side. The biggest mistake that I did was apply for a position that paid on the basis of performance. So if you find internships with stipends mentioned as performance-based or incentive-based, stay away from them. It's a way for employers to get people to work for free and never pay them. And obviously, stay away from internships that are clearly unpaid if you want to be paid. And lastly, make sure before you actually start working, you have some sort of agreement, some sort of contract in place that lets you know how much you would be paid, when you will be paid, and how you will be paid. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below.